Hello, and welcome to the Chatterbox Letters podcast. Welcome to my Livestream broadcasting exclusive. One way to keep momentum going is to have constantly greater goals. And the goal is to get your chatter letter written and sent to my podcast. This is what I ask of everyone who is interested in sending me their chatter letter. Life is purposeful struggle, and your only choice is the choice of a goal. You can be a chatter letter bound in sending me your chatter letter. Your goal will be met with my thanking you for your chatter letter. The victory of success is half won when one goal gains the habit of setting goals and achieving them. When you use your perspective in sending me your chatter letter, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible, so that your chatter letter out would not be lingering. Put your chatter letter bound. If you want to have or live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things with your chatter letter. It's very important aspect. Sending it to my podcast to be processed and read live on my broadcast. It's the way of the fearless writer. It's not just getting a goal that matters, but the quality of life you experience along the way when the quality persists with your chatter letter. Every twist and turn in life is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself, your interests, your talents, and how to set them in motion. Then achieve a goal in me receiving your chatter letter. The real value of setting and achieving goals. It's not in the rewards that you receive, but in the person you become as a result of reaching your goals with your chatter letter. Once a positive goal is chosen, you should decide to pursue it all the way to the end. Even if it is not realized, at least there will be no regret in sending your chatter letter to my podcast. It must be no regret in sending your chatter letter to my podcast. It must be borne in mind that the tragedy of life doesn't not reaching your goal. The tragedy of life is not receiving your goal. That tragedy lies in having no goals to reach when it comes to your chatter letter. It's harder to stay on top than it is make the climb. Continue to seek new goals and put into perspective with your chatter letter. I believe in goals. It's never a bad thing to have a dream. If something is really what you want to do, just do it. Whatever your goal, one goal to achieve is to send me your chatter letter ASAP. It may be true that he or she travels farthest with travels alone, but the goal thus reached is worth reaching. Do not forbid your chatter letter. Please, everyone who is listening, please write your chatter letter. It doesn't cost you anything but an electronic letter, a letter with a stamp attached, or a letter in by hand. Everyone needs something to earn or aim for. You can call it a challenge or you can call it a goal. It is what makes us human. If the challenge that took us from being cave women or cavemen to reaching for the stars with your chatter letter in tow. You don't have a fantastic hero to do certain things to compete. You can be just the ordinary chap, sufficiently motivated to reach challenging goals. The intense effort, the giving of everything you've got is very pleasant bonus. Your bonus is your chatter letter. If we continue to think and live as we belong only to different cultures and different religions with separate missions and goals, we will always be in self-defeating competition with each other. Once we realize we all members of humanity, we will want to compete in the spirit of love. That love is your chatter letter bound for me to receive it. We are built to conquer environments, solve problems, achieve goals, and find no real satisfaction or happiness in life without the obstacles to conquer and goals to achieve with your chatter letter. Competition is a big thing, and it is byproduct of productive work, not its goal. A creative man is motivated by the desire to achieve, not by the desire to beat others. It doesn't take work to send your chatter letter, but to achieve it by sending it to my podcast so that it could be read. The goal towards which the pleasure principle impels us of becoming happy is not, nay, can not give up the efforts to become nearer to realization of it by some means or other. Your chatter letter is a must for me to receive it. Chatter letters bound. Understand and accept that you will have to make sacrifices to achieve your goals. If you are willing to pay the price, however high, you may want to be surprised by what you get in exchange. Pay the price and send me your chatter letter. The most powerful way of being able to listen to your own intuition is by being silent. Find a quiet place, slow down, and calm your mind. Your goal is to eliminate all the noise going through your head, all those thoughts that appear from out of nowhere. Relax. You will have the time to send your chatter letter later on when you are perfectly rested. You must accept that you might fail if you do your best and still win. At least you can be satisfied that you tried. If you don't accept failure as a possibility, you don't set high goals. You don't branch out. You don't try. You take the risk in writing and sending your chatter letter because it's worth the risk. Everyone wants to have a goal. I gotta get to that goal. I gotta get to that goal. I gotta get to that goal. Then you get to that goal, and then you gotta get to another goal. But in between goals is a thing called life. That has to be lived and enjoyed. And if you don't, you are a fool. You all are not fools out there. You are willing participants in achieving your goal to send me your chatter letter. Once a positive goal is chosen, you should decide to pursue it all the way to the end. Even if it's not realized, at least there will be no regrets. Sending me your chatter letter to be processed feel like sharing the emotion while writing your chatter letter. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. If you got a chatter letter out there to be processed and read on my podcast, I would love to receive your email, regular mail, or in person. Please write and send your chatter letters via email at the chatterboxletterspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can send your letter regular mail. Send your letter to the Chatterbox Letters Podcast, Post Office Box 5556, Lakeland, Florida 33807-5556. Or you can give your chatter letter to me or in person. If you live in the surrounding cities in the state of Florida, I can receive your letter by hand. If your city is Plant City, Dover, Pinota-Sassa, Tampa, Brandon, Valrico, Turkey Creek, Durant, Lakeland, Lakeland Heights, Mulberry, Bradley, Edgewood, Cleveland Heights, Suffner, Albandale, Winter Haven, Lake Alfred, Lake Wells, and Zephyr Hills. I want to receive your chatter letter. I thank everyone for tuning in to my live stream. I would like to say God bless and thank you so much for tuning in.